Good morning, everyone. This is Heather Fowler with Alabama Health Guidance, and thank you for watching the recording today. I'm sorry I couldn't do the webinar in person. My cat is sick this morning, and so I am going to have to take her to the vet here shortly. But I wanted to go ahead and get this information recorded so that I could get it out to you today. So thank you for watching, and if you will say a little prayer that my kitty will be okay. So let me share my screen so that you can see my presentation. Okay, I think you can see this now. All right, so y'all know me. I love a cute theme, and I couldn't pass up doing a little ACA roundup. So here's just some things that I've had questions about or that I thought you might want to know. Thankfully, we all survived the OEP, and I know Monday was crazy. And if you tried to get me and I was delayed in returning your call, I apologize. I hope I got back to everyone, at least through text or email. It was a crazy day, but I know we're all ready for some rest and feel relieved that that busiest part is over. So one thing that, we still have a lot of questions about are the subsidies. And so last Thursday, Congress voted, but they failed to extend the subsidies. Neither side had enough votes to pass anything that would extend the subsidies. So as it stands right now, going into 2026, the only people that will be eligible for a subsidy will be those people that have incomes between 100 and 400% of the FPL. So what is expiring, just to clear up any confusion, is the extra enhanced subsidies that had been in place since COVID. So things are just going back to the way they were pre-COVID. And the contribution limits for the people in this range, that contribution that they'll have to pay toward their premium is a little higher as well. So even those people have seen an increase in the premiums. But the people that have been hit the hardest are those that are over the 400% because they will no longer have a subsidy at all. And so I'm sure you've been seeing that as you've helped people enroll or sent out quotes that people with that higher income, they really, are going to have a high premium if they choose to stay on the marketplace. So if you're just not familiar with what I'm talking about with when I say 100% to 400% of the FPL, that is this federal poverty levels chart. It is in the ACA handbook. If you don't have a copy of it, just look in our ACA handbook and you can download your own copy and print this out. But it has the household size and then what the incomes are at each level. And so someone that is below 100%, they are not going to qualify for a subsidy. And people that are over 400% are not going to qualify for a subsidy. And then here below the chart, you see the expected premium contribution. And it shows the amount of their income that they are expected to contribute toward their premium in order to, to have the marketplace plan. And so those percentages are a little bit higher than they have been in the past. And you will see here where it says that more than 400% ineligible for a PTC, which is a premium tax credit. So those people, are not eligible at all. That's why if they go over by $1, then they are no longer eligible for that premium tax credit. And so they have to repay any that they have gotten. So that's why we're calling that the cliff. If they go over that 400%, they were no longer eligible to get anything. And so they would have to pay back any tax credit they received. Now, the repayment caps, that's been another thing that's been some question. In the past, there have been repayment caps. So I don't recall just what those were, but we had a chart and it was in last year's ACA handbook, I believe. But basically, if someone did owe money back, there was a cap to the amount that they would have to pay back. They didn't have to pay back the full amount. But those repayment caps are going away in 2026. So any excess premium tax credit that someone received, they will have to pay back that entire excess. Okay. And so that means people over 400% will pay back the entire thing. And then the people in between will just pay back any excess that they received. They won't have to pay back the entire thing. They will just have to repay back the entire amount that they should not have received. Okay. The excess. Now, there's been a lot of questions about what about people underneath that 100%. They are still going, if they have made that estimate in good faith, they are still protected. Okay. So if someone, and we've got the document from CMS. Thankfully, Alicia had talked to someone at CMS and has the official document that has this wording that as long as someone estimates in good faith that their income is going to be at least 100% of the FPL, if they fail to make that, they will be protected. They will not have to repay their subsidy. But we do want to make sure that those people have a good reason to expect that they're going to make the amount they project and that they, make a good effort to try to make that. So there's no repayment for them, but we do want to make sure that we encourage them to make that estimate in good faith and try to make that amount. All right, so open enrollment officially ends January 15th. Now our big rush, ended Monday, December 15th for the January 1 effective date. But we still have until January 15th to get people enrolled for a February 1st effective date. Now, I know some of you that have been doing Medicare. Oh, I know you guys have been swamped and you've not really had a lot of time to look at your, ACA people yet. So if you've not reached out to those people that are close to that 400%, you need to do that because some of those premiums have gone up just a huge amount compared to what they might have had last year if they're a little bit over or a lot over that 400%. And so they're going, it's already auto renewed at that increased premium. Now, they have probably gotten a letter from Blue Cross and they may have reached out to you. But if you have not heard from those people, it would be great to get in touch with them because they may want to cancel that plan. And of course, they would have to go uninsured for the month of January. But, they could enroll in maybe a bronze plan. If they had been in a gold or a silver plan, they could move down and get that cheaper plan started for February 1st, or they may just want to, look into other options. I've had it happen both ways, or some of the people have said, well, we don't really have any other option. This is what we want to stay on. This is what we want to do. But you just need to make sure they're aware that they are going to see that premium increase. And the same thing with your people that have had a zero premium. I've seen some of the zero premiums go up hundreds of dollars. They may just need to update their income. The 100% level did increase a little. So, if they had their income right at that 100% for 2025, then they may need to bump that up just a little bit in order to qualify for the subsidy in 2026. And those people definitely being on a tighter budget would choose to go uninsured for January and then have their new premium start in February. So you still have time to do that. If they get that January bill and that plan effectuates, they're going to be on the hook for whatever that premium is. So you just need to reach out to them and make sure that they know what's coming and that you've helped them make the best decision for their situation. So you may be wondering, well, how do I know who those people are? If you're logged into your Health Sherpa page and you go to clients, up here at the top, you'll see the renewals tab. Just click on that. And then down below it, you'll see this renewal follow-ups. Click on this drop-down box and you can filter out the people that are close or over the 400%. And you can also filter out your zero premium people. So, that will give you a good starting list there. If you've not already reached out to them, it'll show you who you need to reach out to. So, this is another thing that's been a problem. All right. So, if you think you've enrolled somebody, let's hope you've already checked, but it's not, it's too late for a January 1 effective date. But people that are enrolled and are set to effectuate on January 1st, they should be showing up under your clients. Okay. If their name is still over in leads, now I have some that maybe I sent an email or something and their name might be in leads as well as under clients. But if you don't see them under clients, then they are not completely enrolled. So you need to look into that. Everyone that is set to begin January 1st, you should be able to see them as a client of yours. You should be able to click on their name and see that their plan's going to effectuate January 1. This is what I think has happened with a lot of those people. When you enroll someone, if you see a screen that looks like this, then you've not completed the enrollment. Okay. Even though you might have clicked on enroll in this plan. And then when you get this screen, it's like the application has been paused. Okay. It's not fully been submitted because you've maybe not been their agent of record in the past. That I think that's usually why you get this. That's when I seem to get this message. And so what you've got to do is either complete a 3-way call with the marketplace with the consumer on the line, or you can try sharing this resume link via email. I don't have a lot of luck with sending this resume link. I've had maybe one person that was able to go through the whole process and do it. There is a help page that can show you. It's even got a little video that you can send to someone. I don't have the screenshot of it, but if you scroll on down on this page when you see it, there's even like a frequently asked question sheet that you can email, that you can send to the person as you send them that link, and it will help walk them through it. You could get on there and help walk them through it. I just have not had a lot of luck with that. I usually end up wasting a lot of time and have to do the 3-way call anyway. So my go-to is usually I just say, hey, since I'm not being your agent of record in the past, or I've not been your agent in the past, we need to do a quick 3-way call to the marketplace. It usually takes about 7 minutes. If they don't have that long, you can even get permission to just speak on their behalf, and then they can hang up and you can go ahead and get the application pushed on through. But that seems to be the most common reason people are staying in leads, is that the agent has seen this screen and either they didn't do the 3-way call, or they sent the resume link and the client didn't follow up through on it, or didn't know how to do it. And so that application has never really been pushed all the way through to effectuate. So just check on that, and you may need to go back, even though it's after the 15th of December. You can go back now and do it. Now, that plan won't effectuate until February 1st, but that's better than, you just thinking you have them enrolled and they never get enrolled. So check that. If you think that might have happened to you, check that. And if you at any point, if you have questions, feel free to call me or text me. I'll be glad to help you with that. Okay, so if you have successfully enrolled someone, you will see a screen that looks like this. Okay, that's when you see that, congratulations, you've enrolled in a marketplace coverage. Okay, that's when you know that person is truly enrolled and set to go. And when you go to their name under clients and you click on their name and you scroll down about midway through their page, you will see the plan they're enrolled in, the premium. It will say enrolled. It will have the effective date of 1/1/26. and then it will have you listed as the agent of record. So that's a good way to confirm that everything is correct and set to go. Right. Another thing that has come up is some people have asked about Social Security, because I know that maybe only a portion of it is actually taxed when someone fills out their income tax. And normally we say, oh, we'll just go by line 11. That's your adjusted gross income. And that is your adjusted gross income. But if someone is getting Social Security, we have to include that entire amount, because what Marketplace actually wants is called the modified adjusted gross income. And that includes the entire amount of the Social Security. And so this page shows you how to figure that out. So like here on line 11, it's showing $30,000 as their income. But you'll see that like only 805 of their Social Security was counted. So what you would have to do is take away this 805 from the 30,000. You see 30,000, take away that 805, and you're going to get 29,195. And then you would have to add this entire amount of their Social Security. Okay. So just be aware of that you have to include their whole amount of their Social Security. So if they're looking at their taxes and one of their forms of income is Social Security, and they tell you what's on line 11, that's not going to be exactly right. Okay. So just be aware of that you have to include their entire amount of their Social Security in the modified adjusted gross income, which is what we have to report on the Marketplace application. All right. And so cancellations, you may get some of those, coming in late as people begin to get those bills or situations change or whatever. But if someone calls you or texts you and says, that they want to cancel their plan, make sure that you get them to send you something in writing. I mean, sometimes I just have people text me back and put their name and that they want their plan to cancel on this date. But you need to make sure that it has their name and the date that they want their plan to cancel. And then I screenshot that and I then upload it into my Health Sherpa account under their documents so that I will have that. Sometimes I have them send me an email, but just whatever it is, make sure that you get that request in writing, that it includes their name and the date that they want their plan to cancel. If they can't get that to you, then they can also call the Marketplace to cancel their plan. But Blue Cross cannot cancel Marketplace plans from their end. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. All right, that is all I had today. I wanted to be able to take some questions too, but since I'm having to do this recorded, just text me or email me your questions if you have any. And I do want to say a huge thank you. This year, when Lee asked me to start doing these webinars, I was so nervous about it. And I was just feeling like it really wasn't something I wanted to do too much. But everyone has been so supportive. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the kind comments and encouragement that I've gotten and the help that I've gotten from so many of you. And I just really, really appreciate it. And I hope you all have had a wonderful OEP. From the feedback I've gotten from some of you, I know everyone worked really hard. And thank you for trying to do such a good job, too. That's been the thing that I've realized more than ever through this, is that you want to do a good job. I mean, everyone's wanting to do what's best for their client, and they're wanting to make sure they're doing things right. And just, I've heard so many just sweet, kind hearted comments. And I just appreciate you working so hard on your clients' behalf too. I know you all are a blessing to them as well. So thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and can get some rest. So thank you so much and have a wonderful afternoon.